1, Part 2, Example B. So here I want you to sketch the graph of the parabola. I want to include its vertex, focus, directrix, and the direction of opening. So all the parts that we found on Monday, I now want you to find them and put them in a graph. Okay, just a sketch though. So y squared, it's y squared equals 4x. I don't see anything subtracted or added. I don't see any parentheses, which means that we are on the top sheet. Y squared, we're over here on the right hand side, okay? Which means if I'm on the top sheet, my vertex is 0, 0, okay? My h and my k are 0, 0. Nothing was taken away from the y squared or from the x. So vertex, 0, 0. Okay, now they want me to find the focus. The focus, and again, we decided we were on the red side because it started with the y squared. The focus is supposed to be P0, right? Focus. And my formula is P0. So my P, I got to figure out what my P is. Well, I know whatever number is here, whatever the coefficient of my x is 4P, right? That's my 4P according to my formula. So if 4 is 4P, what is 1P? We'll just divide by 4, and clearly P all alone is equal to 4 divided by 4, which is 1. So my focus is supposed to be P, comma, 0, so it's going to be 1 and 0. All right, there's my focus. Vertex, focus, directrix. The directrix formula on the red side is supposed to be x equals negative p. That is for the directrix. Ooh. Okay, so if it's x equals negative p, it's x equals negative, and my p was the number 1. So negative p will be a negative 1. All right. And then they wanted the direction of opening. The direction of opening. This is a y squared, so it's either to the right or to the left. My p was positive, right? If I have a positive number right here, then that means that it opens to the right. It opens right. Opens right. Okay, I have found all the pieces, everything that they asked for. Now I just need to graph it. So make ourselves a little graph here. My vertex is at 0, 0. That's right there at the origin. This is the x-axis, the y-axis. So 0, 0 is my vertex. I'll put a V for vertex. Focus is at 1, 0. That means I go 1 in the x direction and 0 in the y. 1, 0 would be right here. This is my focus. 1, 0. 1 to the right, 0 up and down. Okay, the directrix is x equals negative 1. That means on the x-axis, I go to negative 1. On the x-axis, I'm going to go to negative 1, which would be right here. And I need to cross through that point. Maybe you remember, maybe you don't. But if it starts with the x equals, it's going to go in the opposite direction of the x-axis. It's got to cut through that point, x equals negative 1. I can't cut, I'll cut through all the x's if I go this way. So my directrix, x equals negative 1, it's going to be a vertical line. All right, this is x equals negative 1. If it's x equals, it's vertical. If it's a y equals, just FYI, if it's a y equals, it's going to be a horizontal line. Okay? Just keep that in mind. So, now I need to draw my parabola. My parabola goes through the vertex. The vertex was the midpoint on your parabola, right? So, I'm going to go through the vertex. I am not going to cross through the dotted line. You do not. Your parabola will never cross through your directrix. It should be behind it. So, I'm going to go through the vertex and open to the right. My parabola looks like this. It opens up to the right. Again, remember, it will not cut through your directrix. It's going to go the opposite direction, like a magnet repelling it. It goes in the opposite direction of your directrix. And this is my graph. All right, we understand? I hope. Yes. Okay, moving on to example B2. B2. Okay, so B2 gives me the equation x plus 4 squared equals negative 12 y plus 1. Okay, so I have an x. I obviously have things in parentheses here, so that means I am on this side. We're on the blue side on our second page here. All right, the first thing they ask me for is my vertex. My vertex, remember from Monday, when it looks like this, if it's in this form, your vertex was going to be your opposite x, opposite y. It was your opposite x, opposite y. So opposite x, I see a plus 4 in here, so opposite would be a negative 4. And then opposite y, I see a plus 1 in there, so opposite y would be a negative 1. It'll just be the opposite sign because it's what was subtracted originally in the problem. So if I see a plus, that means I had subtracted a negative. All right, so we got the vertex. Now I need the focus. The focus. All right, the formula for the focus on the blue side here is h, comma, k plus p. That point is going to be h, and then a k plus p. All right, h. Our h is negative 4, because remember our vertex, once I found the opposite x, that was my h. And once I found the opposite y, that was my k. So my h is negative 4, my k is negative 1. So h would just be negative 4. And then my second coordinate is supposed to be a k plus p. So k is negative 1, and oh, I gotta find p. All right, so we know that whatever this coefficient is 4p. It's always 4p. So if negative 12 is 4p's, I'll divide both sides by 4. Divide by 4, divide by 4, and I find that p all alone is negative 12 divided by 4, which is negative 3. All right, the formula says plus p. So negative 1 plus p is negative 3. So plus negative 3. Okay, so that's going to be a negative 4. And negative 1 plus negative 3 is a negative 4 as well. Okay, so that is my focus here. Focus. Negative 4, negative 4. Then I need my directrix. The directrix. The directrix is, we're on the blue side, y equals k minus p is the formula. Y equals k minus p. So y equals the k was the number negative 1 minus my p, and my p was a negative 3. So if I minus a negative, that's going to be a plus. So my equation for the directrix is y equals negative 1 plus 3 is just going to be a positive 2. So y equals 2. Is that it? Oh, the direction of opening. Which way does this thing open? So I start with the x. The x is the variable that's squared, right? And my coefficient here is a negative. So I know if it's x, if it starts with the x squared, then it's going to be up or down. If it's negative, it's going to open down. So opens down. Okay, I've done everything they wanted, all 4 boxes. So now I need to graph this. Okay, vertex is negative 4, negative 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, 1 down, negative 4, negative 1, that is my vertex. My focus was negative 4, negative 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 4 to the left, and negative 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Okay, so negative 4 would be right here. That is my focus. Then I need my directrix. Directrix is y equals 2. So I'm going to go to the y-axis and go to a positive 2. Okay? I need to go through this point. Not all the points on the line. I need to go in the opposite direction. We said that if it was a y equals, it needed to be a horizontal line. It goes the opposite direction of its axis. So y equals 2 would be this line right here. This is my directrix. Y equals 2. My parabola is not supposed to cut through the directrix. Remember I said it repels it. It goes in the opposite direction. It does need to cut through your vertex. So your parabola is always going to go through your V. And I said it opens down. So something like this. Again, this is just a sketch. I'm not going to figure out how wide it is on this problem. That would come from the focal width. But I just want these 4 things for my sketch here. So this is my graph. All right, remember you always go through the vertex. It should be the same distance to the focus as it is to the directrix. They should be the same distance. If it doesn't look the same distance away, then you messed up somewhere. Go back and check your math. All right, that's example B.